You mentioned it with Morgan Rielly. It is a little concerning. And listen, I'm like captain of the Morgan Rielly fan club. I think he's a great player. I've, sang his praises multiple times on this show. But yeah, that giveaway, trying to make that pass right up the middle of the ice, like that's concerning to me. That's something like heading into the playoffs. Like I don't even want him. And listen, I know he's a high skill guy and he's aggressive and he likes making, let's call it like high danger plays like that. But man, heading into the playoffs, like I don't want to see that type of stuff. And
No,
even that
absolutely
pinch
not.
that he made on the 2-2 goal, it was Kyle Connor's second goal that led to that odd man rush. Like just the decision making late in the season, like those are things as a Leaf fan heading into the playoffs that have me a little bit concerned. Now, I think that those things will, for the most part, get cleaned up, not only with Morgan Rielly, but just the team defense in general and the defense core. Like the Leafs this year, this was one of their best seasons in terms of just team defense and even play from the defense core in a very long time.
Oh, not even close.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a really solid season all around for this team. But Lepore, like, are you concerned seeing that from Morgan Rielly, like these last couple of games and just some of the bad decisions that he's been making?
To be honest, it's not even about the last couple games. Like, I don't know if you mentioned it, but over those last two games, again, these were practices, as I joked about earlier, but he was a -6. Like, you're not
That's
going to point to,
brutal.
yeah, that's terrible. Like, you're not going to really point to anything in these games to give you any type of fear other than, Freddie coming back and playing his first game in a long time and not playing well. But I'd kind of leave every player off the hook about anything because these games did not matter. But when you see a stat like -6 when you play for the 6th ranked team in the National Hockey League, that's bad. But my thing with Morgan Rielly, it goes back this entire season. It's almost as if he's changed his identity completely as a player. And it was a few weeks ago, I was YouTube surfing and I came across a goal he scored earlier in his career where he came out from his own end, he flew across center ice, beat two guys, and then went backhand top corner for a goal. And it came over me this whole thing of like, who the fuck was that? Like I didn't recognize Morgan Rielly executing a play like that, like with that type of excitement and confidence. And it could be something in the way of Keefe. Like, I don't know, like maybe Keefe's told him to like pump the brakes with that type of contribution, saying like, we're going to get it from our forwards. So just relax. Who knows? But if we were to give a grade on the totality of this season and what Morgan Rielly has shown us, it wouldn't be a good grade. Like based on our expectations of him. Like, has he been fine? Yeah, he's been fine. But I think it was like the first or second show we did a segment on Rielly and about like how much we loved him. And I think I even made the point saying I would have been okay with him being named captain. Like that's how much I loved him and how grateful I am for what he's done for this franchise, going through the shit he did, the bad years sticking around. But now, and again, it's not negative. It's just that I think expectations have been set for what we expect from him, and we haven't gotten it. And I will say it, man, and we talked about the power play just now, with how bad the power play has been, there's different reasons for that. When anything goes that bonkers in a negative way, you can't point to one player or one system or the coaching. It's a series of things. But I will point out that when Rasmus Sandin was on that power play, that top power play unit for his little stint, he looked good. And it seemed like I don't remember like whether we scored or our scoring chances stats look like or anything like that, but it looked better with Sandin. So I'm not going to say this power play, these power play troubles have been all the fault of Morgan Rielly, but let's face it, he's the guy up top and it's not flowing, so he's at least one of the problems. But I mean, that's loaded, and I'm sure people listening to this may think that like I'm totally going into negative land with Morgan Rielly, but I just think it's based on how much I like the player and where my expectations have been set with him from what he's shown me in previous seasons.
No, and that's the thing, right? Because when you think about successful teams in the playoffs and teams that make a deep run, you need that horse on the back end
Yeah.
who's going to elevate his game. And listen, the Leafs defense core as a whole, that 6-man unit, I like it a lot. And I would stack it up there. I'm not saying they're the best decor in the league, but when you look at some of the elite teams in the league, I think the Leafs are right up there, if not just maybe a tier below, just in terms of like the entire 6-man unit that they have at the moment. But, you know, you look back even last year with Tampa, right? How Victor Hedman takes his game to the next level, or the year the Capitals won the Cup. John Carlson had a phenomenal playoff run. So
Duncan Keith, Drew Doughty, those guys.
Drew Doughty, go down the list, right? So when it comes to Morgan Rielly, I want to see him elevate his game, Lepore. And am I a little bit concerned heading into the playoffs? I'm a little bit concerned in terms of his decision making. But man, oh man, like listen, I think he has it in him. A couple of years ago, Morgan Rielly had a 70-point season under Mike Babcock, 20-goal season. And am I going to say that he's going to go out there and be like a point-a-game player during this playoff run? No. But if the Leafs want to be successful and they want to get out of the North Division and, you know, go to the semifinals and get to that Cup final, Morgan Rielly is going to have to be one of their top 3 or 4 most important players during this run.
Absolutely. Yeah, you need guys. At the end of the day, I always say you need guys to play above themselves to win a Stanley Cup or go on a run. So him just playing where he's at right now is not good enough. Like we're gonna need more from him. Like we're gonna need more from everybody is kind of what I'm getting at. But we're seeing that potential, I think, in a lot of guys. I don't know if he's shown us that potential this season. And what's weird is that he's coming up on his contract's ending at the end of next season. So like I would have been sitting here a year ago saying we're fucked because he's going to want 7, 8, whatever million, putting up the points. Like you were saying, he had 70 some odd points. So there's no way we're going to be able to fit him in. Now, I don't know what he's really going to ask for. I mean, he's cost himself money, that's for sure, with these performances. And even too, like I remember TSN Sportsnet, the projected Team Canada, like they always had Rielly. Right now, I don't think I'm definitely not putting Morgan Rielly on Team Canada, or at least like, he ain't no slam dunk. Like that's for sure.
100%. And you mentioned Rasmus Sandin. Sheldon Keefe has shown a lot of confidence in him. He's, replaced Rielly on the top unit with Sandin. Who knows? I mean, maybe Sandin's the guy that I'm not saying Sandin's going to turn into Victor Hedman, but maybe he's that guy who Keefe realizes, you know what? Sandin's one of my top 4 guys right now. I got to play this dude 22 minutes a game. I need him to run the top power play against Montreal in a close, tie game in game 2 of the series or whatever. Right. So it's going to be interesting to see how Rasmus Sandin works into this whole equation against the Montreal Canadiens, because he's been sitting out for salary cap reasons. As we all know, the Leafs salary cap situation is like a complete mess, and they're
I'm not good enough at math to try to explain it to you.
And certain guys haven't been able to get into the lineup late in the season because of cap implications. But no, I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with this decor, how the minutes are allotted. But I mean, I can't wait, man. And